Okay, it says we're live. We're live. Yay. All righty. Now, I just need to go over here, get one more thing set up. What the hell is drop? Every time I go to do something, it's different. Okay.
Keeping you on your toes.
Oh my God. Some days I wish my toes were attached to other people's feet. So, welcome. We are going to create 3 cards tonight. There's no die cutting. There is coloring. And they're just, hello, Renee. They're just cards that are pretty, quick and easy, and no mess, no fuss. And it's free. And I put out the recipes before, and let me just get the link. Where did that link go? There it is. Okay. I'm going to grab the link to the recipes for the free cards. They're in the chat, and they're also in the description of the video. So if you don't have them, then there's ways to get them. And if you're watching the replay, then you'll be able to stamp along with me. I'm hoping that I'm going to go slow enough that everybody can stamp. So I know that Janet and Holly are ready to stamp, right?
Right, sort of.
Right, sort of.
Are we doing the pink one first?
We're doing the pink one first, yes.
Could you clarify the size of the pretty in pink? You've got 3 1/3 by 4 1/2.
Yes.
In the directions.
3 1/4 by 4 1/2.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did I type that in there wrong?
Okay, we'll fix it.
What is 1/3?
Well, I sort of figured it was a typo, but I thought, no, I'm gonna just cut the paper, and then I can cut it to the correct size now.
Some days life just doesn't go the way I plan it. It looks a little weird. Hang on, I'm gonna try to move things around a bit here, because it was looking a little strange, and I don't want to. There, that's better. Okay. That goes there. This goes here. And hello, Brenda from rainy Saskatchewan, and Connie and Cindy. How fun. We're going to stamp together tonight. It's not just me stamping with you. It's everybody stamping together. So I'm using Country Flowers, only the stamp set. There is no die cutting on this. There's no embossing. So these are cards that you can make with whatever stamp set you have. Hello, Wendy. And then I'm going to add bling, of course, because, you know, it's all about the bling. So here's the first card. So these were cards that we were shown how to do at On Stage in Houston. And I figured, well, why not show you guys how to do them, because they're fun. And I'm thinking now that these are going to be really good cards to use for Christmas cards. Hi, Dimity. Oh, it's nice to see you. Hello, Peggy. I'll see you, hear you, read you. With the new, what's that new one called? The greenery one that's being released on the 3rd of July for Christmas. I'm going to try, if I remember, to recreate these cards using that suite, because it is very pretty. Okay. So we're going to do the pink one first, and apparently I have a typo. So your Pretty in Pink is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. That's this piece here, not 3 1/3 by whatever I said. I need a new secretary is what the problem is. I need to fire my secretary.
Or maybe give Ted a raise and then he'll work harder.
Oh, Ted is good with technology, with hardware stuff. Ted is not good with technology, with programs. He would have heart failure if I asked him to be my secretary. I tried having James do some stuff for me a couple of years ago. Yeah, that didn't go well either, because apparently he doesn't know what that BW stands for, basic white.
And how long has he been your grandson? Like,
oh my God. Because I would just send him this picture, which is how I write out my recipes. And I see it says BW and LL twist. And I actually wrote out Pretty in Pink. He couldn't figure it out. So he got very frustrated. So I gave up. Okay. Card base 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. Scored and folded in half. Another piece of Pretty in Pink that is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Basic white, 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside. 2 pieces that are 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. And a piece of lemon lime twist that is 2 1/4 by 5/8. And about 10 inches of black twine to do a bow with. That's it. Not a lot of supplies. I'm going to use Memento and Pretty in Pink ink. And then I'm going to color with Lemon Lime Twist and Pretty in Pink blends. And of course, Wink of Stella, because no card is complete without Wink of Stella on it. Dimity says, I have something going on in the background on iPad. Need to find out what is wrong. Uh-oh, that's not good. Figure it out, Dimity. Make sure you stick around because these cards are cool. Okay. I'm getting a stamping paper because I don't want to get my good paper dirty. We're going to start with our little squares. And I'm going to be using this image here and the sentiment. Oh, and in the background, this little tiny image here. I'm going to be stamping that in the background on this piece. Can you see that? Probably not. Because, you know, it's Zoom and it's not compatible with my phone. Okay, Memento ink. And if you've been around a while, you will know that I transferred my Memento ink. So Memento Tuxedo Black normally comes in this. And that's fine. It works. But it doesn't get as black as I wanted it to. And then I was told by my friend Karen in Arizona to put it in one of our uninked white ink pads and then ink it up with Memento ink, and you have a perfect ink pad. So that's what I'm doing from now on. Hi, Pat. So ladies that are on Zoom with me, feel free to chat, tell me to slow down, tell me to speed up. And I'm going to stamp this one like this. And then stamp the other one exactly the same way. Or ish, the same way ish. There we go. So that's what your two squares should look like when you get them stamped. Oh, look, I stuck my finger in my ink pad. Of course I did. Now I'm going to get the piece of lemon lime twist and stamp it with the sentiment. in Memento. Like that. And then on the inside and on the envelope, I'm going to stamp it, the flowers again. Nadine says she can't connect with Zoom and my computer will not let me into Facebook. Well, you must be in Facebook if you are commenting, Nadine. I'm glad you made it. And I'm sorry you can't connect with Zoom. I should put the Zoom link in the comments. Sometimes that helps. Hang on, let me do that. Make this big. Where did my Zoom link go? Really? Ah. Uh-huh. Okay then. Hang on. I've got to go find the Zoom link because it's not where it's supposed to be. There it is. Copy, go to here and to there. Paste. Oh, something like that. Oh, man alive. I tell you. There. All right. So there's the Zoom link. Or you can go to the Zoom app and type in, hang on, let me get the number for you. Type in 861-309-6879 and join that meeting. And the password is my last name. Okay, let's stamp. I'm done.
That is how I always go into these, is through the Zoom app.
Yeah, it works on some devices and it doesn't work on other devices, and it's all in how you hold your tongue when you push the buttons, you know.
I certainly wouldn't disagree with that.
Okay. Oh, Nadine's trying to get on in her tiny phone. Okay, I'm going to use Pretty in Pink ink, and we're going to add some flowers in the bottom right hand, or flowers? No, whatever this thing is. What is this thing? A small stamp. Bottom right corner, top left corner. Just to add a little bit of something to your card. Because everybody needs something in their card. So I realized last night that I hadn't gotten my sister's birthday card into the mail yet, and her birthday's on Monday.
Uh-oh.
Do you think it's going to make it there in time? No.
Probably not.
I did take it up there before the mail headed out today, so at least it'll go out today.
But the other part of it, or whatever, is this will just extend her birthday.
That's
past
right.
The day.
That's right. And she never sent me a birthday card. So in reality, really? Ah. Okay, how we doing? We got all that done? Is there anybody on Facebook that is stamping along with us? Write in the comments if you are or you're not, or if you're just watching and you're going to make them later. Nadine, you've probably made these ones. Okay, I'm going to color my flowers. Light pretty in pink. And then I'm going to use dark pretty in pink for the buds. And if you want, you can shade and blend, but it's not necessary on these little tiny flowers. Apparently I can't talk in color tonight. My brain power is not at 100% these days. I'm still trying to fight my cold.
I don't know. You're still wishing you were up in the where.
I know. Well, I'm glad that I didn't get sick until on the way home.
Yay, I'm in.
Oh, good.
And yes, we had these cards at on stage.
We did.
Yes.
So I'm going to use dark, pretty, and pink and do the buds. Which bundle did you choose for these, Nadine?
Citrus blooms.
Ah.
Did the citrus blooms, and then in Prize Patrol, I won the citrus bloom paper.
Oh, well, that was meant to be. Wow. I did this one.
We all have that little book.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I never did get citrus blooms, though. It's not, I don't know.
If I could make it to the post office, if people would stop having issues around me, I have, and I could make it to the post office, I will be sending you something from Citrus Blooms, a kit,
Oh.
some other stuff, because I know you didn't get it, and I love it.
I got the paper. I got some of the paper, but only because it was left over from my paper shares. I forgot that rose. I've been trying to turn my brain on to Christmas cards, and it hasn't worked yet.
Oh, when it's 100 something degrees here, it's hard to think about Christmas.
Oh, well, it was, what was it, about 18 here, 20, 40, 70. It was about 72-ish today.
Yeah, with the humidity, it felt like 112 here.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, thank you. However, today I didn't have to wear a winter coat when I went out. Yesterday I had to put my winter coat on.
Really?
Yep. I was cold.
Must
course
be
I'm-
from your cold.
I'm sick, yeah, so it doesn't help. And I sit in my house and I still have my furnace on,
Oh my goodness.
but I freeze to death. And then I go outside, still cold, and then it's like 25 degrees out there. By the time I get to where I'm going, I'm dying of the heat. Oh my God. I just can't win, no matter what I do.
we can't cool our cars off fast enough here.
Oh Lord. So is this typical weather for
Yes.
you at this time of the year?
Oh yes. Oh yes, it's always pretty hot. I told Wayne, I said, well, because it's late here, of course. And I said, well, go into bed, do your thing. Glenda's on tonight. And he goes, oh, our ice lady's on.
Yep.
I said, yes. I said, at least, it's not furnace,
Oh man. Well, I used to laugh at my mom because she was the same way. She was cold all the time. And I would laugh at her because it would be like 25 degrees outside and she'd be wearing a sweater. Now I completely understand. Oh, Connie made her cards already. Of course you did, Connie.
It's nice that she joins us, though.
Yeah, it's too bad she's not on Zoom.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's why I'm streaming it so that people can enjoy it both ways. At least this time I was smart and I took it off a gallery view before I went live. Some days I remember, some days I don't. All right, so there's the inside colored. Now I'm going to use Granny Apple Green to do the leaves.
Oh, here.
Who's that?
It's Connie.
Hey, there's Connie and Brenda. Look at all the people here on Zoom. That's awesome.
I kind of forgot about Zoom.
Well, I figured it would be fun to do Zoom tonight. That means maybe I don't have to talk quite as much.
True.
I'm sure I'll feel better soon. I have to be better by Tuesday because I had an unexpected phone call today and I'm going to Puyallup, Washington on Wednesday for 6 days. So we'll
No
see how
one's
that
sick
goes.
or ill, are they?
Pardon me?
No one's sick or ill, are they?
No, I have a girlfriend who just had surgery, so she can't lift anything for a few weeks, and
Okay.
she was scheduled for a dog show.
So
So
you're going
she
to show a dog?
No, I'm not going to show the dog. What do they call it? I'm going to be officially known as the crate bitch.
Oh,
I'm
So
sorry.
it's very apropos because when I worked at the fish plant here, I was known as the bitch in the office. So she knew who to call when she needed a bitch. So I'll be doing the lifting. I'll be doing the lifting and toting and setting up, and it'll be fun. I asked her what I had to bring, what I should bring. She said, make sure you bring pajamas because you will be in the same bed.
Oh, Lord.
Okie dokie.
That's funny.
It'll be fun. But then I had to rearrange my whole life because I had things planned.
that's okay. Changes.
My
are
wonder changes are good.
Sure. Keeps us
My
on our
wonderful
toes.
club people were nice enough to change the club for me. Okay, so there I have all my pieces now. And hello, Wendy. Who else is up here? Look at all the people, and they keep joining. And I must have done my phone as the host. That's why I'm not seeing the things I need to see. Sorry, I had to take a drink. I have my cough drops just in case I stop coughing. So has everybody got their stamping and coloring done?
Much.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll assemble. So these are going to go on here like this with a little bit of space in between. And then this whole thing is going to pop up on the card base. I forgot to get my adhesives out. Uh-oh. Oh, good thing they're not far. And then the bow goes underneath before we put the sentiment on it. So somewhere around there. So does anybody do anything interesting today?
Work.
Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks, Connie.
Yeah, it does.
How far are you from retirement?
Couple years. Well,
Oh,
let's say I'm
that's not-
63. I'll be 64 this year. You got to be 65, providing nothing changes within Congress. Really depends on who our politicians are going to be this next round.
Oh Lord. And is that in November?
Yeah.
Takes effect in January.
I'm going to take my sentiment and I'm going to angle one end. And then if you take the end you cut off and stick it on, hang on, let me get it figured out. I want it going in the same direction, this way. You stick it on the other side, like this, as a template. And you see that? Oh, I've got that in there. And then you cut it along that line. Then you get the same angle. Okay, now the bow. Just a big floppy bunny ear bow. This is about 10 inches, this twine. And you want it big so that when you put it down here like this, and you put this over top, you still see everything like that. So that'll go on with a glue dot.
Honey, where are you at?
Reno, Nevada.
Ah, few states over from me.
Are you calling from Colorado then?
Texas.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll be moving. That's where I'm retiring to, north of Denton when I retire.
Oh yeah,
That's where my
north of
daughter's
Denton.
at.
North of Denton, just around, not far from Dallas.
Yeah. It'll be up
Yeah.
around Sanger, almost Oklahoma.
Yeah. My daughter-in-law's sister lives up that direction, which sounds crazy, but from me being in East Texas, the Houston area, that's still 6 hours away.
That state is forever.
Yep. Since I've messed with these already, I got my order today.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to get, and well, I finally, they were in, and I got in under the wire and finally got my spotlight on nature.
Oh, did you?
Finally,
Oh, man.
I'd seen a post from Rose,
Yeah.
and she said, "Hurry to your computer." they're the spotlight on nature is in. I called the customer and I said, "They're in." She's like, "Order it now." I said, "Okay." So I was on scrambling to do it, got the orders done, and then the next thing I know, it's out of stock.
Oh,
No
Again.
way.
Yep, went out that quick.
it went out
Wow.
that quick. I was playing with Maggie, my granddaughter, when
Yeah.
I found out that they were available. Well, I couldn't tell her to go away, that Mimi had to do stuff. So I finished playing with her. And by the time I finished playing, they were out of stock.
That's crazy.
But
Yep.
they're back in now. They came in again this morning. So I got my order in this morning. I'm trying to find my big dimensions. Apparently, I don't.
And so for good measure, I went ahead and got the pocket thoughts because they look very interesting,
Oh, yeah.
and seen some interesting things done with those.
Cool.
So
Well, I finally managed to get Seaside Wishes. It's been in and out, just like Spotlight on Nature.
a lot of papers being, it's hard to get a lot of the paper too. Everything's been so good and so popular.
Yep. But
You
it
think-
seems like it's not taking them as long to get stuff in as it has in the past either.
True. Because when I seen Rose's
Post?
post, yeah, that word. Words sometimes are hard. Um that
I'm glad
morning
I'm not the only one. Yeah.
that morning I had looked and they went till July, and I was like, oh man, the
Yeah.
sale's gonna be over and everything else. Oh man. And then when they popped in, so I think they're, trying to not put in longer projection dates out so people don't get, their hopes up in case they don't
Yeah.
come on. But it
It
was
was
like,
it was the stamp set for the Spotlight on Nature that was out, not the dies, which is probably why it was such a quick turnaround, because they make their own stamps. So
right.
I appreciate the fact that they stepped on the gas pedal and got them going just in time to order them with the sale. Okay, Wink Estella on the flowers. Because everybody needs Wink Estella on their flowers.
Oh,
What happened?
no, it's okay. It's upside down.
Oh my God, you guys. That's so fun. I love keeping it real like this. I'm not the only one that has these issues. I made a card with the charming duck pond today. And it turned out the first time I was so impressed. I didn't have to scrap anything.
That's amazing.
So
Oh,
you'll see that one on Monday night. I'm going
well,
to add my in color
I'm-
shimmer gems. Go ahead.
I like your designs, but I just can't. I don't know. There's just something about ducks I can't do.
You
I
can't
don't
do
know.
ducks?
I can't
Yeah.
do that. I don't know how something's just like, yeah, no. That's one of
Sorry,
those yeah knows.
you cut in and out there. I didn't catch of it, everything you were saying.
That's one of those sets that I'm like, yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, it's so cute. I've already been through one stack of paper.
Have you?
Yeah. I
I
made
love it.
an album to put my Sawyer's pictures in, hopefully at least through 12th grade.
Uh-huh. That's awesome. Hello, Valerie. Better late than never. So how's everybody's first card going? You got them done?
No, not well.
Oh, uh-oh.
Try twice the same way. Beat that one.
Janet.
Apparently tonight was not a good night to do this. Okay.
Well, I have to put a cough drop in because I can feel myself starting to. So there we go. There's our 2 cards. I'm just going to pop my name on there before I forget. That card I made last night, that circulate rotating circle card.
Yes.
I'm going to have to put that onto a real card base because otherwise there's nowhere to put my name and the number on it.
It is adorable, but I don't know that I have the patience.
You do. Come on, girl. You can do it.
It's really not that hard. I made it seem harder last night than it really is.
I don't know. I've watched you do it, and I've watched Lisa do it, and it doesn't look that easy.
Well, if I hadn't have screwed up on where I glued it down, it would have been better.
So I'm sitting there going, oh, good grief. Glenda's light years way better, and she wants me to do that.
Well, the good thing is that you don't have to. I want to do one of the cows, and I still have that kit. I don't know where I put it, but I originally cut out an extra kit. I was going to do the cows, and then I got duck pond, and I thought, no, we're doing duck pond.
Can you do that mechanism on white I can't talk. White cardstock and put it up so that we can see those measurements?
Uh-huh. I can. Let me get something to write a note on because, I'm going to forget. Do rotating circle card mechanism on white with measurements and lines.
Yeah, it would be easy. I think that would just make it a whole lot easier to comprehend it.
Post in VIP. I will do that. That's very easy to do.
I actually think I'm going to be able to comprehend that. That's funny.
Oh, well, give it a try.
I probably will.
It's just
And
paper.
Yeah, you should see my trash can from one of the last ones I've done. I had was working on, and it's oops, rip it off, throw that part away. I can still use this part because I'm covering up.
I have dollar store cardstock that I do my trial and errors on.
Yeah, I go to Michael's and get their
stuff.
cardstock because it's cheaper and not real good.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this one. This one, you're going to use blending brushes. So I'm using Memento, Lemon Lime Twist, Shy Shamrock, and Petunia Pop. And Wink of Stella, of course. The card base is Shy Shamrock. And it is 8.5 by 5.5, scored and cut in the middle, scored and folded in the middle, not cut. 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside. Wait, I have to get the measurements for these ones now. Yeah. Lemon Lime Twist, 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. Basic White, 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. Petunia Pop, 2 1/4 by 1. And that's it. So we'll start out with Memento. And I'm going to stamp the can and the flowers. Over on the right-hand side. And this isn't the flowers, this is the leaves, but you know what I meant. This stamp set is stained because when we were in Houston, they
Yep.
made us stamp this in StazOn.
Ooh.
And we can't, there's no way to clean it. So mine will forever be stained.
Good thing it doesn't affect the stamping.
Yep. And the good thing is, if you drop it on the floor, you can see it.
Unless you have black carpeting.
I'm stamping the sentiment in memento on that. Oh, it's up too high. Never mind. I'm going to stamp it again. A little bit lower.
Okay.
There we are. And then on the inside, I'm going to stamp half and the envelope. So remember that this is a hamburger card. There's sirens outside. Again.
Been awful the last few weeks.
And we've got that big ball tournament on this weekend too, so God only knows how busy they'll be.
Well, apparently the worst of it is there's been some really nasty drugs in.
Yep. Yeah, it's been ugly out there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think all the stamping is done. So let me know when you get your stamping done and we will go on to the next step.
What else do I have to stamp here?
And while you do that, I'm going to blow my nose. The weird thing is about this cold is it's all in my sinuses. And every time I get sick up there, it's only in my sinuses. Like my ears don't get plugged. My head doesn't go fuzzy. I have a little bit of a cough, but not a really bad cough. It's bizarre.
I wonder if the allergies that's doing that.
I don't know. I was going to call my doctor today and say, is there any way to tell if this is an allergy or something else compared to a cold? When we're up there, we attach to our son's outside water tap, and it comes right out of his well. It does, on the outside tap doesn't go through the water treatment system. And we went down to the Sani dump the second time to dump our tanks and to fill up with city water. And the city water looked like root beer. It was disgusting, and there was sludge in it, so we couldn't fill up. So we had to use it for showering and stuff. And I'm wondering if that's what gets me, because I wasn't sick until we started doing that.
Right.
Probably the bacteria in that water and you're not used to it at all.
Could be.
It's not filtered or anything.
When we were up there in December, we stayed in the hotel and I didn't get sick. But when we were up there last summer, we were staying in a trailer and we were hooked up to the water. And I got sick exactly the same as this. So
You need to get a water filter, pitcher or
Oh.
something.
We have a water filter. But of course, it's not as good as having city water or something. So I don't.
Hey, take bottled water with you next time, at least for drinking purposes.
Yeah, we did. We went and bought water while we were up there, and we got water from their house, which goes through the filtration system. But it was the showers, and we
Really?
used it for flushing the toilet and showering. Yeah. So I don't know whether it's because it was on my face and I breathed it in. I have no idea. All I know is that my local grandchildren have treated me like I have the plague because they're going away this weekend and they didn't want to get sick.
Can you blame them?
No, I can't. No, and I fully understand. And I went outside with my mask on and waved at them in the distance. Pat Hickey says, trying low oxalates, whatever that is. Can you explain, Pat? I don't know what that is. Okay, lemon lime twist. I'm going to do a halo on the leaves. Just like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the inside. And you can do it on the envelope too if you want. I thought this was a really cool way of coloring these. I never made these cards when we were in Houston. I'm always too busy nattering and helping other people get things cut, and I never have time to make the cards.
I got one done of mine. The rest of them I had to finish at home because, like you, yada, 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 yada.
Yep. Pat says, good Lord, my computer decided to type by itself. Must have bumped it. Oh, okay, this is Shy Shamrock, and I'm just going to do right in the very center, but I don't want it to be too dark, so I'm going to make sure I take most of it off. Because you can always add more if you want it to be darker, but if you get too much on there, you can't take it away. There we are. I was watching somebody color with blending brushes the other day, and they were dapping on paper, wasting all that ink. It's like, why do you do that? Do it in that on the lid of your ink pad. Then you don't waste all that ink.
I don't think that little hint's gotten around yet.
No, apparently not. There we are.
Or use a block. If you don't want it in your thing, use one of your blocks.
Mm-hmm. Or your glass mat.
Yes, because you can pick it back up off.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do now with my mat.
I've tried using my mat, but it doesn't work when I go live because there's too much glare for my lights. Okay, petunia pop, and I'm going to do color in the pot, but I'm going to grab a small one instead of my big blending brush because they work better. Ooh, this is turning out so pretty. Look, just look at that. Awesome. I'm glad that I can create tonight. I haven't had a lot of time to stamp since the 11th or the 10th of June. I made 20 thank you cards, but I had everything stamped. All I had to do was color it and put them together. So I don't consider that stamping. Who are these people sending me messages?
Rude. Like you have nothing better to do.
It's okay. They just come across my screen and then I can't see anything else. Okay, so when you have all that done, let me know and we will put things together. Oh, shoot. I forgot. We're going to use this little thing again and put top right-hand corner, bottom left-hand corner on the right on the card base. I forgot. So I guess now my Facebook feed is going to be filled with dog shows.
But they're
That's okay.
cute.
Yes, they are cute.
Well, my girlfriend that I'm going with, she has a Bichon. And he's the fluffiest little white marshmallow you've ever seen. And she is adopting another one. And it's being delivered to her in Puyallup. So there's going to be her and me and Dino, who is 3-ish, and Guido, who will be, what's he like? Just above adoption age, whatever that is. So it should be fun in a motorhome together. I may come home crazy. Than normal.
No, you go home and want a pup. You'll go home and want a dog.
Oh no. Been there, done that, moved on. But at least those dogs don't shed.
Oh, mine doesn't either. I won't have a shedding dog.
Our
No shedding
grandpuppies,
dog for me.
our grandpuppies are Labradoodles. And if they take after the doodle part, they don't shed. But they take after the Labra part. And Labradors are horrible shedders.
Yep.
You look at them and the hair just flies everywhere. But they're cute and they look at you and they go, I love you.
But every day you can sweep up a whole dog.
Yes, but that's okay because they live at their house. They don't live at my house.
I'm not going to have one of those.
Okay, shall we put things together now? Yes, no? You guys still stamping?
No, good.
Holly?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
I can wait
No,
if you're
it's
still
okay.
stamping.
No, I'm not. I think my thing is I clean my stamps as we go.
Ah,
I do too.
okay, so the lemon lime twist piece goes on at a jaunty angle. Now this one, I did it this way, dipped it down on the right corner. This one, I'm going to dip it up in the right corner, just because I can.
Flat.
And that's flat. This one is popped up. So the dog, Dino, he's a Canadian champion and he's an American champion. He's dual citizenship. And now he's older, so they go for more like the puppy age for dog shows, but now he's gotten into racing. And
Racing.
he's racing. Like you
Okay.
see the greyhounds, dogs racing, kind of like that.
I
And
didn't know any other dog did that.
it's called Fast Cat. I don't know why they call it cat when it's a dog, but anyway, it's called Fast Cat. And the last time he raced down in the States, he was clocked at 16 kilometers an hour. And his legs are this long. Tiny thing. Okay, so this is going to go on here. And you can put it straight or you can put it at a jaunty angle, up to you. And it's popped up. Did I say that?
Yeah.
I don't remember what I said.
Do you have a problem putting things at weird angles?
Nope.
I do. I don't know if it's my OCD. It's like that. That's not straight.
It's your OCD and it takes training. I had to train myself. Now I can do it.
So I was like, oh, God.
I get it. Uh-oh, lost my sentiment. And the last thing to do is to flag the end of your sentiment. And it goes straight on flat onto your card front like that. I think I'm going to have to dig out my Christmas stuff because I think these would be really pretty done with that new suite that's coming out.
The Seasons of Gold and Green that's coming out. Is
Yep,
that the one
that
you're
one.
talking about? I've
Yeah.
seen it. I was like, holy moly. When is that available to demonstrators?
It was available starting the, I don't know, the 6th of June or the 4th of June or something.
Oh,
It's available now. It goes live to customers on the 3rd of July.
okay. I've been so hung up with getting everybody together and everything for the sales stuff and everything. I didn't pay attention to that.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Pardon me. And that sled one too. I got
pretty.
that one and I can't wait to play with that one. What did I? The sophisticated sled. It's also available now to demonstrators and the 3rd of July to customers. And I've seen a lot of really pretty cards done with that and that golden green bundle.
Yeah, the golden green bundle is cute and there's certain things, but in my neck of the woods, we ain't buying the sled. We just ain't buying it.
You could put pontoons on it, take it in the lake.
No.
I get it. It's like Australia. They're summer when we're winter, so they have summer for Christmas. They're not going to be into it either. I'm putting bling on.
I think there's probably more people with winter than there is, that this is available to than there is for, that we're saying,
There's you guys in Hawaii and the South Pacific and Texas or Florida and like the whole bottom half part of the US. They don't have winter, do they?
Well, they do up in Dallas area where Connie's going.
Oh, do they?
Oh yeah, they do up there, but that's a 5-hour drive from here.
Ah,
because you got to go.
Yeah, it's a day trip.
Yeah, it's it's northwest. It's a good ways from Houston. So they do get, they do get cold and they do get snow up in that in that area.
And
But not,
hail, ice.
but
So
we
that's
just
not an
said,
area you're looking at to move to?
Unfortunately,
Well, Connie is, but Nadine is thinking about moving too. And she told me, I told her to move up here. She said, no, it was too cold.
no, if I do anywhere, it's still gonna be in the South. Because Wayne's from Alabama, well, South Alabama. He does not where it gets cold. You were staying, kind of parallel where we're at on, because we really, I mean, you've seen this city, Glenda, how big it is and how many people are here.
Yep.
And it's so congested.
Not my idea of a good time.
You know,
Ew, people.
close to 4 million people in our county alone.
Yuck.
Then you go to Dallas and you got 4 more million.
Oh,
Yeah, so
that's a lot of people.
yeah.
Way too people-y.
Holy man. When we first moved here, I thought there was a traffic jam when I went to a four-way stop or a light, and there was people going in all four directions. I figured there was a traffic jam. Now, you never, ever, ever go anywhere at a light where there isn't at least 5 or 6 people.
5 or 6 people. It takes 5 or 6 people just to get out of my subdivision onto the main road. Because in my subdivision, there's over 300 houses that just,
Oh my God.
Yeah. What do you
That's
think I
about
want to run away?
209. That's about 299 too many.
Yeah. What do you think I want to run away? Oh, because when I first moved out here, there was nobody around.
Oh yeah.
Nobody. It was nice. Now our county alone has more people in it than some states. So
Oh my God. Okay, time to move on to number 3. Is everybody ready to move on?
Ready?
Yep.
Pokey pokey. So this is the one that they made us use stays on for, but you don't need stays on. You can do this with Memento.
yeah, I was wondering why they had stays on all the tables when we were doing, when we didn't need it, we needed Memento.
Yep. You could watercolor with Memento. You just have to be very careful. And don't overwater it. Okay. This is pecan pie. Oops, sorry, Nadine. Pecan pie. We're having a pecan tonight.
There we go.
8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 and folded in half. Basic white, 5 1/4 by 4 for the inside. 2 pieces of peach pie that are 1 7/8 by 3 1/2. Piece of watercolor paper that is 2 3/8 by 2 5/8. Piece of basic white that is 3/8 by 3 1/2 ish for the sentiment, and then about 19 inches of white twine. Okay, I have to clean my stamp. Oh no, I don't. I have to get it out because I didn't get that one out. Uno momento while I go back to the drawing board here. Oops, on there. Okay. So I also have a spare block that I'm going to put the ink on to pick up instead of picking it up from my ink pad. So to start, we are going to stamp in peach pie onto peach pie with this image. And they're going to go on this way. So just randomly stamping, if you can do random. Random doesn't work very well in my world. But I'm trying to learn.
Well,
So that'll be my bottom one. And then I'm going to make sure the top one, I put some in the middle. There. So just before you put it away, make sure it looks the way you want it to look. It'll do. Because it's going to go about like this on your card. Okay. Then memento. Pardon me while I pause to blow my nose again. Okay. Sentiment in memento. Best friend ever. I wonder if Marie and I are going to be talking to each other after spending 6 days in a motorhome together.
Maybe, maybe not.
I have a feeling you guys will be out of the mobile home or the RV or whatever more than you'll be in it.
During the day, yes. I don't know what she does at night. I asked her if there was internet because I would like to keep up with things that I have to do. And she said, I have unlimited data, so we can link you to my phone. So that leads me to believe that there's not internet down there.
Find a Starbucks.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is that we are in Puyallup, and I think we're at the fairgrounds in a motorhome.
Oh,
So we won't be going anywhere.
that is a fact.
There, you're there. Okay. This is pecan pie. Man.
I call it pecan. What are you trying to, how do you say it?
Pecan.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. That's what Nadine says too. Oh, I didn't stamp. Ugh, I'm looking for the thing I need to color and I haven't stamped it yet. Okay. How are you guys doing with your stamping? Are you keeping up? Am I going too fast?
Keeping up.
Holly?
Barely keeping up, but you know.
I will go slower then.
No, I think I've got I haven't got the sentiment, but I don't know what sentiment I'm using, so.
I'm stamping in memento onto the watercolor paper. Make sure that you stamp down far enough that you can still put if you're doing this, that you can still put your leaves on there. Well, that was weird. Okay. Goes this way, goes that way. Meet there. Oh, Fraggle Rock.
What did you do?
I didn't push hard enough in the middle. Maybe I need to re-ink this one. Let me get my other one. We'll just restamp that. It'll give you guys a chance to catch up. I keep forgetting this is watercolor paper and there's a bit of a, that's better. There's a bit of a texture to it. So if you don't push really hard, it doesn't get all the stamping. Okay. Perfect. Now I'm going to take it over to my heat gun and I'm just going to heat set it. I'll be back. All right. There we are. Now let's stamp the inside and the envelope. Give that an extra chance to dry. And remember, Mullet, it's a hamburger card, not a hot dog card.
It is sort of a little out of the ordinary to have more hamburgers than hot dogs tonight.
I know, right? It's kind of cool. Excuse me. Alrighty. I don't know why when I go to line these up, I always hold my breath. Okay. When you get that done and you're ready to do some coloring, let me know.
I'm ready.
Okay. Water pen and ink. And this is pecan pie. And being as this is watercolor paper, you can go back over top of it. As long as you don't go over top of the Memento ink more than once, because that's where you'll have problems. Man, it's been a long time since I watercolored. And when you're painting with or watercoloring with Memento, you want to have a brush that's not really dripping wet. Sorry, had to go under my table to grab my because it ran away.
Kidding me?
Oh, Wendy says she's not even bothered trying to keep up. She's going to watch and do it with the replay. That's good. That's why there's a replay. Okay, so the one on the inside, I'm doing it on basic white, so you cannot go back over and redo when you color. So it is what it is. Because if you try to go back over top, you are going to destroy your cardstock. So Janet, what stamp set are you using?
I'm using my freebie.
Your freebie?
Yes, thank you to Glenda. The one
You're
I
welcome.
won.
Which one was that? You can tell by my silence that I don't remember.
The class I went to your house at.
Oh, but I still don't remember now I know where you got it at the escape.
It's this one. It's this stamp set.
Wait, I can't see you. Hang on. I got it. First of all, I have to find you. There's Janet. Okay, hold it up.
It's that one. It's the country flowers.
Oh, lucky you. Man.
Some fancy draw. I'm not very good at coloring though. My black all bled.
Oh, did it? Yeah, you got to be really careful. That's why they used stays on. I do believe.
And it's funny because it didn't bleed on the cardstock.
Why did I do that? No?
No, but it bled on the watercolor paper.
Ah, yes. Lots of water. Okay. Shy Shamrock. And I'm going to color the leaves. Did you heat set yours?
I tried, yeah. Apparently not properly.
Oh, well.
That's okay. It's just a little bit different color.
And Holly, what are you using?
Pretty Kitty.
Oh, that's different. Now
Might
I
be
got that
old.
song going through my head. You know Sheldon's song?
No.
Soft kitty, pretty kitty. His
Purr,
mother,
purr, purr.
his
Oh.
Meemaw used to sing it to him.
Ah.
Sheldon
Some of us have watched The Big Bang.
And
Oh
apparently
yeah.
some of us haven't.
You didn't watch Big Bang Theory?
Nope.
Oh my gosh. You ever get the chance, start right from the beginning. It's an amazing show.
Absolutely hilarious.
I have seen the odd episode. it
It's
was
a
not-
lot like living in my house. His brain works the same way James's brain works.
Oh, what color would I like?
So over there on Facebook, is there anybody still hanging out? Or have you all given up?
Well, hopefully they're having fun.
Eating popcorn,
They're
watching the show.
they're probably working.
Probably cursing me. You could do this card and do it on basic white and color with your blends too.
I would rather do blends than watercolor any day.
Yeah, me too, but I figured let's try something different.
Of course.
Well, I didn't follow your instructions and I went rogue on all three.
Oh, did you? Good for you.
Recipes are only jumping off points.
Yep. Opportunities for creativity.
Whether it be for cards or meatloaf or cake or whatever.
Oh, that's cooking.
And with cooking, with anything, is they're all just opportunity.
Ooh.
They're just recipes are just jumping off points.
Linda doesn't cook.
I don't cook. When we were up north, we did all, I'm saying we did all the cooking. You notice that? We, but it was Ted did all the cooking.
But every good cook needs a sous chef.
That's right.
And that was always my job.
Or in my case, somebody that needs to sit outside and watch that Maggie doesn't get eaten by a bear.
Oh, that's only when my girlfriend is here and her husband will tell me to go outside and sit on the deck and drink wine with my girlfriend because that's what I'm good at.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, gotta love them.
Well, Maggie and Ted were outside playing one day, and the neighbor was going down the road, and he turned around and he stopped and he came back and he said, "Just to let you know, I just saw a bear go not into the bush, not 20 feet from your driveway." Okay, then. So they packed up and went into the inside part of the yard that's all fenced. And apparently there's 2 spots in behind their house. There's a big green area back there, and there's 2 spots where the bears hang out back there. But they never come to the yard. They don't bother them, so.
Just don't go out in the dark.
Or make a lot of noise. We never saw them. I never saw them the whole time, and we were back and forth a lot from the trailer that was parked quite close to the bear habitat. Oh, Pat's still there. Yay. I think I have everything stamped now and colored. So when you guys are ready, let me know and we will do some assembly. Meanwhile, I'll just take the opportunity to blow my nose again. Oh, Lord. You would think that when you have a cold and you got to blow your nose so much, you'd lose weight. Not so much.
My question is, because ours is sinuses and does what you do. I want to know how you can get through blowing your nose and have so much snot still in there after you just got through blowing.
That's a good one. Dimity says, hello, watching and listening while I unpack. I'm going to visit you one day. I want to see the bears and the deer. Well, Dimity, you can see the bears and the deer right from my porch. We kept getting beeps on our security camera while we were away, and we'd go in to look, and like 2:00 in the afternoon, we knew it wasn't the mailman and it wasn't our son. So we'd go in and look, and there we have a doe and a little baby fawn. And 2:00 in the afternoon, they used to walk through our driveway and set the alarms off. It was so cool. He was so tiny. They still had spots. Couldn't have been more than 3 or 4 days old when they started going down the driveway. But of course, now we're home. They don't come anymore.
Saw Mom with the little tiny spotted fawn just the other night.
They're so cute.
They are, except when they're in my front yard at the salad bar.
They have to eat too.
Well, this is true, but there's a couple of plants I'd like them to stay away from.
Well,
I've planted a lot of marigolds in the last week or so.
Oh, yes, they do like marigolds.
No, they don't like marigolds.
No, they do in my yard.
No, normally marigolds are too scented, highly scented for them. That's why I don't like marigolds.
I had 1 marigold and 1 petunia left after I planted my pots. So I put them in the backyard, and the deer have mowed down the marigold and left the petunia.
I moved the pot with my black petunias because they decided they really liked that particular pot. And they won't walk right up onto my front porch yet. I figured the day will come.
Yep. Okay, are we ready to assemble?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to attach this piece to that piece at jaunty angles. And I'm just going to put enough adhesive on here that it sticks on there, and then we're going to wrap the twine around it. So this is going to go right about like that. Kind of like that. And then we take our twine, and I'm just going to put some adhesive back here just so it holds my twine. I'm tying it. Oops, down too far. Up. Kind of in the middle-ish. Well, if I was inclined to go visit people this weekend, there's a few extra food trucks in town that might be interesting to go check out, but there's going to be too many people, so I'm not going there. I did try what's it called? The Real Canadian poutine truck or something, whatever's down at the Flutasy Haven there.
Oh,
Tried that tonight.
and
Nah, way too salty.
Okay, so what is poutine?
Poutine is French fries, gravy, and mozzarella curds. And then you can get it with pulled pork or a whole bunch of other stuff on top of it. It's a Quebec thing.
It's Linda's vice.
Pardon me?
It is your vice.
I love French fries and gravy. I used to live on it when I was a kid because I worked at one of the hotels on Salt Spring when I was in high school. And they made the most amazing French fries and gravy. And ever since then, I've been trying to find some place that does it, but it was real gravy back then. They don't make real gravy anymore. They do it out of a package, and it's not the same.
I have never had poutine.
What?
I'm with you, Holly.
It just, I look at it and think, no, just not my cup of tea.
Well, here in the South, we put gravy on everything. I think the only thing that makes it poutine for y'all is because you put the cheese in it. But
Right?
It's
Yeah.
cheese curds, yeah.
And they're
we
probably not using cream gravy either. They're probably using a brown gravy, I would expect.
Yeah, brown gravy.
Yes.
we use brown gravy, we use cream gravy, we
Oh.
do gravy.
No,
We
it's got
do
to be cream
gravy.
gravy.
We
I'm
do
too
gravy
confident.
here.
Well, when I worked at the hotel, the cook was a smoker, and back in those days, you smoked everywhere, right? So she'd have this big pot of gravy that she'd be stirring away with a cigarette hanging out of her face, and the ash would fall into the gravy, and she'd mix it in. I
Oh
think
my
that's why it
God.
tasted so good. It was amazing gravy. I know it sounds really gross and vile, but oh my God, it was so good. And
didn't
because I
kill
was
you.
working there, I got it for free.
That's
And
why
it
I
didn't
like
kill
it.
you.
It didn't kill me. I'm still alive. Neither did riding in the back of my dad's truck without seat belts.
Or
That didn't
drinking
kill
out of
me
the
either.
water hose.
I'll drink it out of the hose, playing in the middle of the road. You know, all the
Yep.
stuff we did.
All the stuff we did that our kids and grandkids. Oh no.
I know.
My kids did a lot of it though. But
My
not my
kids did,
grandchildren.
but the new ones don't.
Oh.
Yep, it's true. Okay, so when you get your bow tied around that, then this goes flat onto your card front. Wendy says if you don't have food or garbage out, the bears won't bother you. It's true. It's true. And Charlie and Jesse do not put garbage or what's that stuff called? Recycle, compost. They don't put that out either.
No, mine doesn't go out till Tuesday morning, which is pickup day around here.
Yeah.
And if it's really stinky, it's frozen.
Yeah, exactly. Any food products usually get to the freezer first.
Then this is up on dimensionals.
Well, here we don't have to worry about bears. You know, we got up in the country where we have our place. We do have wild hogs and deer and all that, but we still freeze our garbage because it doesn't really matter. It can stink here really bad. It doesn't matter what it is
Yep, I would imagine.
because it just cooks.
Well, in the summer we get to 40-ish, which is 80, 110-ish. So we do get the heat in the summer for about 3 or 4 weeks. And then 2 years ago, we had this heat dome and it just stuck around forever.
Well,
Is
this
that
will
true?
lift, this heat will lift September,
Oh,
mid-September. Yeah.
yuck.
Yes.
So I'm going to angle the edges of my sentiment again, the way I did the last time. Oh, that's interesting. Look what I did. Well, that was kind of dumb.
Kinda.
Okay, so this one end is going to be flat. And I'll leave the other end pokey.
There you go.
Just go with the flow. We used to have a compost up when we lived in Kitimat in northern British Columbia, because the city gave everybody one of those black compost boxes and said use it. And the first week we had it out, the bear decided to stand on it and jump up and down. So that was the end of our compost bin. It was the end of our composting too.
I tried having one for a bit, you know, like with the grass clippings and stuff. But it gets nice and warm in there. And snipes liked it there, so that was gone.
Ew.
Because I don't do snipes.
What's a snipe?
Well, some people call them garter snakes, but you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I don't do snakes of any description.
The only good snake is a dead snake, okay?
I'm with you.
And I live in Texas where we have snakes of all kinds.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You do.
I'll lend you a kitty cat that loves any kind of critter that moves.
But it's when they bring them in the house and they're not yet fully expired that I got a little shook up.
You mean dead?
Yeah, but Lady Grey liked them to be alive.
Oh my.
She may have liked to play with them.
She did.
Oh.
You could go play with them somewhere else.
My thought exactly.
Then add bling. These are the resin dots. And I like them because they're flat. There we are. That's the cards.
I'm glad you reminded me of our unstaged book. because I made a lot of them, but they're good for quick cards.
They are, and they've got some really good ideas in there. I'm using one of them for my Spotlight on Nature class.
So
One
does
of the-
so does page 22 give you so many good layouts.
Yes. There. That's quite the array of cards.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
Sorry?
spotlight on nature sketch 1 from our on stage is
From this?
pretty much the same sketch on page 22. It's on page 22 as well.
Yeah.
Page 9.
There's some really cool cards. And then they sent us this one.
Yeah, if you look up in the corner, I'm pointing at the screen. Yeah, that one is, I'm pointing and showing you. It's all that same sketches on page 22.
Yeah.
So these sketches are awesome.
Did you
to
look
use.
at the ones they emailed you? This is pretty. I like that card. That's really pretty.
It is. I did not.
There's some really good ones in the bonus ones too. Dimity says they're pretty. They are.
They are pretty.
Now, did you guys do the creativity now on the weekend?
Nope.
I did not.
Nope.
Did you?
Well, I got it so that I could have a team party, and then we ended up staying an extra week up north, and so I still have to do my team party, and I still have to do the cards because it didn't happen
Yeah.
while I was away.
Yeah, I'm somehow it slipped by me and everything, but it was a good thing it didn't that I didn't it worked out perfect. That I didn't that I
Yeah.
missed the sign up. Because with everything that's went on in the last weekend and the last few days, everything was like, okay, it's good. It was a good miss.
Dimity said she forgot to look at the bonus ones. Yeah, you need to go look at those bonus ones. And
I
she
didn't.
did the creativity now. Dimity's from Australia.
I didn't see the bonus ones either. Are they in an email to us?
They were. Let me see if I can find them. Oh, no, I've deleted all that stuff. Okay, let me go in here. On stage. I know I saved them, but I don't remember where I saved them.
I saved a lot of that stuff and I don't remember seeing it. But,
I'll have to look and see what I did with them.
I'll have to look and see if I've got them. I mean, I actually got to the grocery store. Things have been so crazy here and I've been sick and everything had been crazy here with things going on with the grandchildren and everything else that I
Oh no.
actually got to the grocery store first time in a month and a half.
Ooh,
Wow. Good thing you have a garden.
Well, and freezers and all that. It wasn't like we were gonna,
You weren't starving to death?
no.
we wouldn't starve, but it would be the vegetables I'd be short on.
Well, Nadine has a year-round garden. So
Well,
Girl.
it's about burn up now. It's about time to pull everything and start again because everything's pretty much burn up. But if anybody wants to come over, I've got about 50 cucumbers laying on the kitchen counter. You're more than welcome to them.
oh
Because
my
I've
God.
canned all the pickles on pick. doing this year.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
My
like he
cucumber
brings,
plants are this big.
we've probably pulled, he's been pulling at least 20 to 25 cucumbers a day for the last 2 months.
Wow.
And I've canned them, we've eaten them, we've given them away, and I've got a counter full. So it's like, anybody want some?
Pickles.
I've already done pickles. I've got
Oh.
26 jars in there already put
Oh.
up, and it's just the two of us.
Yeah.
Oh my
Sounds like you
goodness.
have a large garden.
No,
No?
no, it's not large. They're raised beds. If we had a large garden, I'd be in trouble. Because we're just in a regular house on a regular city lot. He just has 1, 2, 3, 5 5 raised beds.
Mm.
But that man can grow some stuff.
Apparently.
I used to have a
Dimity,
garden.
the bonus ones came out in an email after On Stage was over. I made a note. I'm going to find them and I'll.
Yeah, I didn't see that email.
Yeah. I don't remember seeing it either, especially after on stage.
Maybe it's because we didn't sign up for it.
I have no sound from you, Glenda.
Okay. Hang on.
Okay, I can hear
Okay.
you now.
Now I got it. Well, I took my phone off and that's where the sound was.
Oops.
Okay. Well, ladies, that's a wrap. That didn't take too long. Only took an hour.
Thank you for
45 minutes.
sharing.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's only 11 o'clock here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm rethinking my time. I'm thinking I might go live during the day instead of it.
I won't be able to be there.
Oh, right, because you work. Oh, what time do you get home, Connie?
About 4:30.
And where you
Yes.
are right now, it's 9:49.
Same time as you are. I'm
Oh,
Pacific.
you're the same time as us. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, until she moves to Texas to my time.
Yeah. I do like Pacific time because the ball games come on and it's still a decent hour when they're over.
Okay, off at 4:30. I've been making notes all along because things are getting shaken up in September. I just don't know what yet. You know, with the new system coming, the new reward system, club is getting a big shake up.
They're just screwing everything up.
I know. They don't ask us if it's okay to do this stuff either.
And really, they should have.
Yeah.
I think so, but they don't. I think if they, instead of doing what they did, they need to make it so that when you go into celebration, you don't have to take the free stuff. You can order without the free stuff.
We didn't have to this last time.
We did.
I didn't, but I had everything I wanted. I quit taking it.
Oh,
You
how did
just
you
didn't
manage?
order. You just let it go. You didn't order.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even let me or put the order in without the
Wow.
celebration stuff in it. So I
I
wonder
was
why.
glad last year that they nixed it.
I know you can do it if you do an online order through the customer side.
I do it online. I do all my ordering online.
Do you do it through the customer side or the OEX?
Demonstrator. Well, I sign in with my old customer because that's what they told us to do. And the only time
Weird.
you have to use, I think the Demonstrator website was if you had you was in the program for a website.
Well, when you log in to the Demonstrator website, if you are on Night of Navy, you're on the demo side. If you're on Coastal Cabana, then you're on the customer side.
Okay, well, let me check because I know I can switch to customer out of the demo.
Yeah, you can switch, but if you log in as a demo,
I'm placing my orders under demo.
That's weird.
yeah, because I had to take stuff and I have got bird paper coming out my ears. Fortunately, I love it,
Yeah.
But yeah, I got
Okay,
bird
well,
paper coming out of my ears.
you guys on Zoom don't go anywhere. I'm just going to stop the live stream over to Facebook. And thank you so much for stamping with me tonight. It's been fun. If you got any questions, let me know. And there is a link in the description of the video that has all the measurements that you can download and use. We'll see you Monday night at 7:30 Pacific time. Bye.
And yeah, I'm ordering on